How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. And yeah, it's a little Russian Imperial Stout time in the form of, let's read this off here because I'm going to forget stuff. Wharf Brewing Company. It's their Sexy Chaos Russian Imperial Stout. It's infused with oak and vanilla beans. Never heard of this brewery before, and did not buy this beer. This beer comes courtesy of somebody at a bar. Boston trip shit. I got this on a Boston trip. This is actually out of Portland. I was up there one night on a Friday and went to a bar called Nova Res and got a little bit lubricated and just started throwing beers at one of the managers. Just like, yeah, drink this, drink that. Stuff I brought with me just from this area. And he popped a bunch of crazy, awesome old lambics and shit like that for us. And then he was leaving. He's like, take this with you. And he gave me this beer. So that's how I got this beer. I have no idea anything about it. Didn't look it up. Didn't do anything other than the fact that it's Russian Imperial Stout and it's in a black can. That's all I got. So let's review this shit. As far as what it says on this black can, it says, drink Maine beer. Drink Maine beer. So it's from Maine. There you go. Wharf Brewing Company. Sexy Chaos Russian Imperial Stout infused with oak and vanilla beans. It's 10.7% alcohol by volume. And it says on back here, Wharf Brewing Company, located at sea level in Belfast, Maine, is the house brewery for Three Tides Waterfront Bar. Also available in select locations throughout Maine. We can distribute one 200-gallon batch per week. Well, small ass place. And it's kind of, I've never seen this before. This is like I've seen kind of this before, but not this way. It's basically a kind of generic can. And there's like this label on here. If I wanted to, I just like pull the beer information off here, off this, like with this clear label. It's got like a little barcode on it. It's pretty ingenious stuff. And they just do like a generic label. Whatever beer they produce, they kind of slap it on there. So I've actually never seen it done in that fashion. So yeah, I kind of dig it. The can, it's black, silver lettering. Does not suck. So that beer does not want to stay in there. Let's give this a little slanted pour here, as to not get the biggest head in the history of mankind. A nice Russian Imperial Stout, man. That's what I'm in the mood for right now. It's the last throes of winter. It was the first day of spring 2 days ago here in northeastern Pennsylvania where I live. And we promptly got 3 feet of snow. But it's melting. It was kind of warm today, so I was like, okay, let me get a Russian Imperial Stout in before it gets too warm, because I never drink Russian Imperial Stouts in the summer. Anyway, 2 fingers, what I like my coffee to look like, colored head. The Jesus of pillowy heads on top, and it's dark. I mean, that shit is dark as dark could be, Yeah. So, let's put it this way. Does she look like a Russian Imperial Stout? Absolutely. Let's see if she smells like one. Coffee, man. Getting a ton of coffee off this. It could be a combination of a kind of a roasted malt with that infused with oak and vanilla beans. I don't know what infused means, whether throw staves in there, but it could be a combination of that kind of roasted malt with that oak is kind of giving me that, because it's a very grainy kind of coffee. Definitely get vanilla in there. I almost feel like I'm getting a little cinnamon too. Maybe I'm just stroking out right now. I don't know. But yeah, she smells really nice. Does not smell like 10.7% alcohol by volume. What was it, 10.7 or was it even higher? 10.7. I remembered something. But yeah, smells really nice. I'm starting to get a lot of chocolates from it now. The more this head kind of dissipates and kind of disappears, you get a little bit more from it. Yeah, chocolate. A little bit of kind of coffee vibes. That oak is definitely there. Vanilla is definitely there. Chocolate. More and more chocolate. Yeah, smells pretty damn nice. So, she looks good. She smells good. Let's see what she tastes like. Cheers. Nice. A little boozy. Nice. First things first. It's a beer. You don't lose it in the vanilla. You don't lose it in the oak. You're getting a decent amount of oak in there. Oak tannins are pretty hefty. Actually taste them combined with you're actually getting a hefting kind of dryness to the beer. But the first thing that really hits you is kind of that roasted malt. Sweet, but then you got a pop of bitterness. So it's, even though it does have a sweetness to it, and it's pretty sweet, the bitterness kind of overrides that a little bit. Even though they're kind of separate entities. Yeah, they ride together and the bitterness kind of wins. Let's put it that way. Nice mouthfeel to it. Almost like milk stoutiness. It tastes like it has a kind of lactose vibe on it. It's probably your vanilla kind of playing with you there. But yeah, it's almost like a Russian Imperial milk stout with a ton of oak in it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm getting a little bit of like a bitter astringency kind of somewhere in there. It's not necessarily metallic. But it's a little bit too hefty for my liking. But it's definitely something I can look past and enjoy the beer. Delicious. Good, delicious stuff. You know, to get something like this from a brewery I never heard about, wins. All the wins. So yeah, not too shabby. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better, I don't want to just say base Russian Imperial Stouts, but Russian Imperial Stouts have a little bit of shit going on. Because you don't want to throw it in the barrel range either. By default, it's going to be yes, but it's nice, but I've had better. Let's put it that way. But it's something that I'm thoroughly enjoying. You could drink the whole thing. And something, if you cross the paths of this beer and you're into Russian Imperial Stouts, definitely worth picking up. Availability, like I said, no idea. Fucking, it was given to me. You know, I was a little bit tipsy, so even if I knew the price, I wouldn't remember. And just say if you like what, will you like this? Pretty much what I just said. If you like Russian Imperial Stouts, in a more American sense of things, this isn't reaching your Courage, your Black Albert, that kind of range of Russian Imperial Stout. This is more your Americanized version of Russian Imperial Stout. Actually, it's a mixture, somewhere in between. It's definitely not as hop forward and bittering as your old Rasputin. It's not as sweet and cherried like your Courages or your Black Alberts. It's somewhere in between. So if you like either of those beers and you want to know what the middle road would taste like, it's definitely worth picking up. If you like good beer and you're in Maine, you want something dark, pick it up, because it's a small place. They make beer, and it doesn't suck. That's a good thing. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers in all four of those places. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice Russian Imperial Stout right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers.